Hey, booze, hey. Do your blankets feel like super glue in the morning? Well, sis, it's time to shake them off. Welcome to Wake Up Happy Sis, the show that jumpstarts your day with a bang. We're strolling down these self-care streets as we navigate the maze of wellness and healing. We're helping you live happy, healed, and whole. And we do it all with a hearty dose of belly laughs for good measure. Stay tuned and get ready to wake up happy, sis. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, booze. Hey, it's your girl, Leanne Dulce, your Chief Self-Love Officer over here at Wake Up Happy Sis. And you're tuned into the Wake Up Happy Sis show. We're broadcasting live on KCCR Cityscape Radio, where we're changing the narrative for our people because we're always telling our story our way. And y'all already know we're unapologetic about what we do over here because that's just how it goes. Now, today's episode, I really feel is going to be a powerful one. It's about heart wide open, the courage to love after hurt. So, I know personally that healing from heartbreak can really feel like an uphill battle, like you're losing trying to get up that hill. Like, when you're going up a hill and it's ice, slide right on back down. But today we're diving in to how do you rebuild that trust, right? How do you connect again? And how do you open your heart with wisdom and courage, right? Now, let me say this first. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's really your superpower. And we're going to explore how we can harness it to build deeper, more meaningful relationships. So as always, you already know what we say. Grab your favorite mug or cup of something, fill it up with some extra love, and let's get this journey going together. So, how are you doing? You see, we both have on yellow today.
Mm-hmm. Doing pretty good there, lady. Good. Had a great weekend.
Yeah, I had a pretty good weekend myself. I can't really complain. It was a pretty good weekend. So. Had some good times. So went to an old schoolhouse party. That's always got to hang out with one of my friends on that came into town on Thursday night. So we went to the little hole in the wall. Well, we went to two places. The first place was a recommendation. There was really nobody in there. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna go down to the hood because the little hood spots be popping. So, and we had a great time. So yeah. So
well done. Well done.
Yes.
Were they playing all of the jams?
Oh yes. That's my spot. Now this is my little spot. And I go there. It's a little bit of an older crowd, so you don't have all the young people tension and stress and arguing and fighting. And you know what I mean? It's just grown folks having a good time. And then I went to a house party where the theme was Sophista Ratchet, hence the little chain I got on, because you had to come in a ratchet outfit where you got it from like a beauty supply store, a gas station, rain, but one of them, one of the more interesting places where you can get the swap meet, the flea market, stuff like that. So
Sophista Ratchet. I never heard of that, and I love it.
Yes. The host, she won hands down because she came with this long blonde wig, her little ratchet outfit, but she had a baby strapped to her. With a bonnet. The baby had a bonnet on too. I was like, oh my God, yes. So my outfit was cute. I had this shirt that said, a little crop shirt that says Simply Thick. Okay, like the Simply Orange juice. Okay. And I had on this long ass bonnet, which is hilarious because there's nothing under the bonnet. But I had this long, extra big bonnet. I had on some biker shorts, look, okay. So we had it was a good time.
I know about the biker shorts, girl.
Yes, look, back in the hood days, if you didn't have no biker shorts, what were you doing with your life? Were you really having a good time in life?
I don't think so. I don't
I
think.
don't think so. I really don't. And if you know about the biker shorts, you're of a certain age and you was rocking them biker shorts with your little tank tops or with your whatevers. Look, that's what we do. That's what we did. Okay, we was all in. Okay, we were all in. So, well, let's get on into this topic because today we're talking about heartbreak, but we're not gonna belabor the heartbreak side. What we're really talking about is how do you bounce back after heartbreak, right? Everybody
Mm,
knows what heartbreak is. They know all about it, right? Because heartbreak really it's more than just this emotional experience that people go through, right? A lot of times heartbreak is a full body, full on assault, right? You feel sick to your stomach. You're emotionally just totally fucked up, right? Because when you go through a breakup, and especially if it's one that's really hard, right? That's really hard. You feel like your heart has been broken. It feels like the rug's been pulled out from under you. Um, Research has shown that the brain processes emotional pain the same way it does physical pain, particularly in areas associated with physical distress. So your mind, when you hurting up here, it's processing it just like as if you done hurt your arm, you done hurt your leg. It processes it all the same way. Okay. And that's why a broken heart can actually feel sometimes like heartache, like it hurts, right? You get tightening in your chest, you're feeling nauseous, or just you just feel sick, right? Heartbreak can manifest itself or show itself in your body in a variety of ways, not just, oh, I'm sad and depressed and I'm crying all the time, right? So I know personally for me, it definitely felt like a weight on my chest, like I couldn't breathe, you know, like you're having a hard time breathing because you got this weight that's sitting on your chest. And it just felt like my whole body felt depressed, if that makes sense. Now you and Sharif have been together for 10 years. You may not even know because be like, well, Sharif is my only real love, so I don't know.
why? I don't know why you
Maybe
got.
you've been saved from
We've been
heart.
through some shit in 27 years, ma'am.
That's true. You are correct on that. But if he broke your heart, he mended it, and y'all mended it together because you still together.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, you got to go through to get to. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and definitely in 27 years of marriage, you're gonna go through some things. But would you consider at any point that your heart was broken in that 27-year marriage?
Mhm. It was it definitely uh took me outside of myself, and we had to definitely lean on that. The third spoke to the wheel, which is God,
Mm-hmm.
and to you can't be on the doggone bench, and then when it's time to get off the bench and time to go to war and stuff, you go with him, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you got to
you gotta
trust that
fight
it's
for what's
going to be
yours.
all right.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And I think it's a little very different when you're in a marriage versus in a relationship. To me,
Mm,
right? And the reason I say that is because when you're in a marriage, you typically have a lot more to lose. You might have children, you might have property, you may have businesses, you have that connection. So oftentimes you might feel there's something more to fight for.
mm,
Versus in that relationship, anybody can up and walk away. Now, it doesn't mean that they may not have kids together, but I'm definitely not buying property with somebody I'm not married to. That ain't a business venture. You know what I mean? Why am I investing that much into something that somebody can walk away from easily, right? So to me, when I look at hurt and heartbreak, I think about breaking up. That, you know, I broke up with somebody or they broke up with me and I was devastated. How do I bounce back from that? But I can also see it on your side, right? When I'm in this marriage and I've been hurt, I feel like I may have been betrayed. How do I also bounce back from that in the scope of us being a union?
That's where
Right.
your vows come in. In the relationship that you have with the one that's larger than you or bigger than you, greater than you, and having a total trust in knowing that it's, you gotta know that there's some stuff that we went through in 27 years and stuff and
Of
came out
course.
like a phoenix and stuff on the other end and stuff. But when it's time to get off the bench, you got to get off and put the work in with your
Yeah.
faith.
And that's in every situation, right? If you've come to the point, and not every betrayal, every issue is going to be repairable. Sometimes it's irreparable and you have to walk away. You have to separate. In case of marriage, you have to divorce. You might divorce. And when you're going through that period, you know, we have to know when it's time to fight, but sometimes you have to also know when it's time to walk away and when it's time to save your peace, right? So I want people to know that, yeah, I think you should always try to save, if you have a relationship, any relationship that you feel um, is valuable in your life, then yes, I think you should fight to save it. But at some point, there might be that heartbreak part where you've got to let go. And you, because you've tried to save it and you just see it maybe past the point of repair, you know? And I think betrayal, you know, that's one of the, to me, I feel like betrayal is one of the most painful experiences in a relationship because it really violates that fundamental trust that really bonds us together as a couple, right? Or even after, even if it's not a couple, even if it's a close friendship, your best friend, that's a relationship too. There's love there too, not romantic love, platonic love, right? But when you have that betrayal, it might be infidelity, in case relationship might be lies, it might be slander, broken promises. It really can leave these deep psychological scars that really take a lot of time to heal, right? Especially if you've been together with somebody a number of years or you've known that person a number of years and in your heart and in your heart's mind you knew this, I just knew this person was this way, and it comes out that they are the exact opposite. They never, like that Risa Tisa story
Mm.
where she was like, who the fuck did I marry? And she, at the end, now I haven't watched the whole series, right? But what I watched, the end, she was like, in the end, it really hurt me when I realized not only did he not love me, this man didn't even like me. She was like, all the things that he did that were fake and false and all lies was intentionally meant to hurt me and to break me down. And, so that betrayal can cut so deep. And that trauma that comes from the betrayal can lead to just this profound sense of loss, but not just because that you've lost that relationship in the now, but you've also lost the future that you've been envisioning with that person, right? We were going to build a life. We were going to, right? You're losing more than that. You might lose friends because all of your friends are shared. And a lot of times they're going to take a side, right? Or you lose the fact that you just can't go around that community because one of you has to leave that community of friends. right? Because it's too hard for the two of you to be in that space right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have this lack of a future. You may have loss of friends. You may have loss of family because if you were married for a long time, to me, the family still stays there, but they may not, right? They may not. Now, what can happen is that it can trigger all these negative emotions, and it's like a cascade or a flood or an avalanche of emotions, if you will. Anxiety, depression, symptoms of PTSD, sadness, confusion, anger, right? Feeling lost. It can fuck up with your self worth. Like you feel like you are a failure. Nobody's gonna want me, blah, 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 right?
Hmm.
And the American Journal of Psychiatry reported that individuals who have experienced betrayal in romantic relationships are at a high risk for developing mental health issues due to the intense loss of trust. So on top of this, you've lost your person, you've lost this future you envisioned, you've lost trust. And if you've been hurt before, you may have lost trust in all men, in dating, in finding love, right? So now you're not just healing from that breakup, you're healing from all this other loss. Gets into your mental, and that can make healing so much harder because it requires rebuilding not only your trust in others, but you have to rebuild your trust in yourself, you know?
Yeah, when you got trust issues with yourself. Wow.
Think about it. If you have been in multiple relationships and they all end badly, they all end with somebody, this person cheating on you or whatever, do you honestly think you're not going to come out of that with some feelings of insecurities of yourself, right? Wow, am I just bad at choosing people? Why do I always choose the wrong people? Blah, blah, blah. Am I good enough? Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I've done things wrong in the past and I don't deserve to be happy. I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways that can turn into self doubt and negative self talk.
Mm.
So, especially when if you were somebody who wrapped yourself really into that relationship. I've seen people they don't seem to be able to function without a relationship. So
Mm.
when they go all in, they go all in. Their sense of self worth is tied to that relationship, to that man. What I hate to see is when somebody says, "You complete me." I,
That's I
I
learned
don't believe that at all.
because you're two wholes to make a whole. You're not two halves to make a whole.
Exactly. Exactly. You have to come into the relationship whole. It is not their job to complete you, to heal you, to fix you. They can help guide you in ways and help support you on your journey, but it is not their job to fix you, to heal you. We all have a responsibility to ourselves to heal and fix ourselves. It's okay to be broken, it's not okay to stay broken,
This is true.
you know? And then you pile on top of that cultural and societal pressures, right? So in the Black community, we already know as women, there's such a strong emphasis on us to be resilient, to have strength, right? Strong Black woman, we can handle anything. We're supposed to take everything and just bounce back. You pile more on our shoulders, more on our shoulders, more pain on our shoulders. We're supposed to just take that, not be unhappy, not be the angry Black woman, still be able to smile and take care of everybody while we're going through all this pain, right? And what it can do is all these pressures can make it hard for us to fully process and really express our emotions. because you have to jump right back into being that strong woman. What we typically do, Sharonda, we tuck it inside, we tuck it away. I don't got time to cry. I got to get back over here and take care of these kids and do this and do this and do this and do this.
Hmm.
We have to find a way to break free, right? And especially when they say that Black women are less likely to seek mental health support because of all these societal pressures. You know, back in the day, we were told what happens in our house stays in our house. We didn't go to therapy. That meant you were crazy if you went to therapy. What? Therapy's for crazy people. That is what we grew up with. So a lot of us had to have, some people still do have a stigma around seeking mental health support.
Hmm.
But when we break free from these societal and cultural expectations and allow ourselves to feel and to fully express our pain, that's such a critical step and part of our healing process. And we have to give ourselves permission to do that. It's okay to need help. Sometimes your good girlfriends and homeboys and people around you, your family, cannot help you. They can't help you. They're not professionally trained, and that should not be placed on their shoulders to, again, fix you and heal you. There are professionals that are trained to help you. That's what we have to go to. That's what we have to seek. And we
You
have
owe
to stop
you.
being afraid to be vulnerable. Go ahead.
You owe you, not I owe you. You owe you.
Period. Any trauma that anybody has left you with, yes, it would be nice if they came back and fixed it, healed you back up, then stabbed you, then they took you to patched you up and took you to the doctor. But life generally doesn't happen that way. It is your responsibility to heal and fix yourself. Stop blaming your mama because you're 30, 40 years old and you're blaming your mama and daddy for the trauma they left you with. Get over it. Heal yourself so you can get over it. Let's say that. Get the support you need so that you can deal with the pain that you still are living with.
Hmm.
And that means we got to be vulnerable. We have to give ourselves the okay to be vulnerable and stop seeing vulnerability as a sign of weakness. We have to know that we are worth more than that, right? Because we're the strong Black woman. We can handle everything. No, the hell we can't. Sometimes we break. Sometimes those breaks are irreparable. But embracing that vulnerability is going to be a crucial part of your healing journey. And it's a journey. You're never really fully healed. You're to the point where you know how to process. I know how to get around it. I may not ever be fully healed because something may be able to trigger me back. But what we do is we learn tips, techniques, tricks, processes, things to help us process our feelings, feel the feelings, and then get back out of it. Don't stay stuck in that space. And when you're dealing with heartbreak, that's the hardest thing to do, baby, is to get out of that. You listening to all the sad love songs, you crying, with me, it was, I felt like every conversation I had was pertaining to that person. I started acting in a way that didn't feel like me, right? And I had to figure out, how do I get back to Leanne? How do I get back to Leanne? How do I start this healing journey? Because healing is a journey, it is not a destination. And that process can be long. It can have a lot of winds and twists and turns, ups and downs. But you have to remember that healing isn't a linear process. It's not like, okay, 90 days, I'm going to be healed. I've been hurt. Regardless of what that hurt is, loss of a loved one, I've been betrayed, right? Whatever the hurt is, we have to know that the healing is not linear. It's not a 90-day plan to get over heartbreak, right? Now, rushing the process isn't going to help you either. Trying to force yourself to move on may not help you either, because what you end up with is unresolved feelings that really are going to surface somewhere else because you didn't take the time that you really need. That's like people who jump from one relationship right into the next one. When you're hurt, what they say, the best way to get through heartbreak is to get under another person. Get over heartbreak is, no, it's not. It's taking the time to heal, to actually go through and process, because everybody's journey is going to be unique. Sharonda's ain't going to be the same as mine, right? Because our experiences in life haven't been the same. So we have to know what our healing journey looks like. And we have to be patient and realize that it's okay to sit down. It's okay to sit down for a while and heal yourself. It's actually important, required, right? And when you see that healing is a journey and not just a destination, you're really giving yourself the space to grow and to transform at your own pace so that you can emerge stronger and more resilient and more open to love again. Because I know, after having countless heartbreaks myself in these 53 years, 40 something year, 40, let's say 35 years of dating, right? After so many heartbreaks, you just kind of become disillusioned with love. And you're like, I don't know if I have it in me to do this again. I got one more good relationship in me and then I'm done. One more. And if this next one don't work, I'm good.
Well, I think in these 50, 40, 35 years that we've been at this thing, it's the learning not to take stuff out on the next person after that
Yeah.
person that hurt you.
Yes.
It's the um, not feeling bad that you gave that person a try. Because you did everything that you're supposed to do and stuff. They weren't ready for you. It's not that. It's not the other way around. So you didn't do anything wrong. Don't feel bad or sorry that you gave that person a try, because that might be the only love that they ever find or experience in their whole entire life and stuff.
Exactly. They may
And then,
not, you have to know, people come from different circumstances, different backgrounds. They may not know how to express and show love, right? They may have come from a very broken situation where love to them was anchored in pain. Think about it. If all you saw was your mama get beat, you saw him love on her, you saw him beat her, you get this warped sense of love that subconsciously you're going out and you're picking those same kind of men. Or you go the totally opposite way, right? But a lot of times, subconsciously, the men that are coming into your life are hurting you, and you're feeling like, well, he loves me. I just be making him mad. I got to learn how to. No, he doesn't love you because he's beating your ass every time you guys have an argument. That's not love, right? And when I think about, hey, I've had this heartbreak, right? I've had this painful breakup. Now, how do I start healing myself from that? My first thing is you have to really acknowledge your pain and allow yourself to grieve the loss of that person, the loss of that future you envision, the loss of that relationship, the temporary loss of love. Grieve those things, right? And be mindful about them. Don't judge your feelings, just feel the feelings. Cry, journal, speak with your good girlfriends that you really trust, right? It's not easy. But once you start to accept your feelings, to me, that was my first step in healing, right? And it's not linear. Some days are going to be easier than others, and some days are going to be hard as hell. Where all you want to do is pick up the phone and call that person. Something great happens in your life. If you've been together with that person a long time and you break up, first thing you want to do is call. Damn, I can't call them. It's not my person anymore. And that may be enough to trigger you back into those feelings of hurt, of depression, of anger, of whatever. Because it's not a linear thing. It's not like, okay, I passed mile marker 2. I ain't never going to hit mile marker 2 again. Right? So, how do we start rebuilding trust after that? So, we've been through the breakup. We've started to process our feelings, right? We're on our healing journey. Now, how do I rebuild trust?
Trusting myself more and not putting that in the other person. For me, it was after a hard breakup, I became destructive and insensitive, and it was all about me and my needs and stuff. I couldn't be bothered with thinking about somebody else's needs, and that was after doing that for so long. If I was concerned about that dude and he was concerned about himself, who was concerned about me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's real. And I agree with you. It does have to start with trusting yourself, right? And that might sound so simple. And people think, but I do. But after you've experienced that betrayal, that heartbreak, whatever, it can really be challenging for you to believe in your own judgment. You'd be like, especially if it was somebody who was physical with you, or you really felt like it was a terrible betrayal or something that caused your breakup. Because you're going to start questioning yourself because you're like, I picked this person. Something must be wrong with me.
But you can't hold yourself responsible for somebody else's actions, though.
Agree, but you're still, but in this one, you are blaming yourself for your actions of picking the. How did I not see that he was a psycho? Right? How did I not see beforehand, like you're supposed to have some into, like you got the magic 8 ball, or you could see into the future. People come with their representative. That's the first person they give you, is their representative a lot of times. Right? So you have to make sure, because you're wondering, how did I miss all these signs? Right? But what you have to do is learn how to trust yourself again. It's not your fault. They acted that way, they did those things, right? You have to rebuild that confidence in your ability to make sound decisions and to protect yourself from future hurt as much as possible. Because honestly, there's nothing you're going to do. Hurt is going to come at some point in your life. It's going to come. But you can try to insulate yourself from that while not closing yourself off. Don't insulate yourself by building that wall up. And that's what we typically do. Like Sharonda said, her wall was, it's all about me. It's all about me. I don't care about what you got to say, how you feel. It's my way or the highway. Right?
Yep. Couldn't be bothered. And incidentally, that's what drew men to me. Like, don't be trying to catch feelings and stuff. Like, that's not what I'm here for, Like straight
Baby.
gangster. I did not care, girl. Did
When I
not.
tell you, I agree with that. I had the most men coming at me when I was on that same energy. That's when I didn't give a crap about their feelings and nothing. They were, and I didn't want to be in a relationship. Girl, I was blocking relationships left and right.
Hmm.
It was all over you, girl. And I'm like, no, I ain't gonna do it. Like, I felt like I was a ninja blocking all that. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a study that was published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who focus on rebuilding self trust, trusting themselves post breakup, are more likely to enter healthier, more fulfilling relationships in the future. And that's because you're laying the groundwork for trusting others again. Like we say, the first boundary you have to set is with who, Sharonda?
Yourself.
Period. And that lays the groundwork for you to trust people again because you have now the strength and the wisdom to protect your heart. Because every negative thing that happened, you should be cataloging in your mind so that when the red flags come, we stop overlooking them. Because how many red flags do we overlook to be with a person, to hang around a person because we felt a connection or we're fearful of being that old spinster and being alone my whole life?
Hmm.
The red flags are always there. It's just, are you looking for them? Are you looking at the red flags, or are you just, really, are they red? That kind of looks pink to me. They red as hell. But we also have to look at those red flags in ourselves. What is causing us to be drawn to these people? Are there patterns in the type of men that we've dated in the past? Can those patterns be tied to trauma that we've experienced? Right? That's causing us to pick. You pick a man that was like your daddy. Your daddy was a harsh man who beat your mama, but you loved your daddy. So unconsciously, you're picking men like him. Or you've never had a father, you don't know what love is. So any man who shows you a little bit of attention, you're all in, head over heels for him.
Hmm.
You overlook every red flag because you so want to be loved and accepted and cared for by this person. And especially if he's narcissistic, he knows how to talk to you about your pain. They do an excellent job of finding out who you are, who hurt you, who all of that, so they can be your savior and get inside your mind.
That's diabolical.
It is. It is. Now, when we're rebuilding trust, okay, you have to really understand those signs of betrayal from your past experiences. Like I said, that little mental Rolodex we're creating, you have to learn from those things. You have to start recognizing the patterns and the red flags, baby. That's the first thing. If I see some shit that's going down and it feels like some of them other ones, I can exit stage left because I see, right? You also have to understand the part you may have played in feeding into some of that stuff. We have to analyze our actions because that's the only thing we have control over. Doesn't mean you did anything wrong. but we can always improve how we respond to things, right? And then communication, because the foundation of any healthy relationship is communication, because communication is the tool that's going to build that healthy relationship. If you've ever dated a guy who every time you tried to tell him about your feelings, he went off, he would start an argument, storm out, he gone for 2 days, doing God knows what with God knows who, right?
Mm. Trying to pick a fight so and have
Sometimes, yeah,
with the feelings and stuff.
yeah. And after you've dealt with heartbreak and pain, it can be so hard to open up to new people
Mm.
because you can't trust them with your heart. You're scared to trust anybody else with your heart. But you've got to find a way to get to that level with that person where you feel safe to share. And that's a part of your healing journey. We're not just sitting here anymore, um, not dealing with our emotions and not being able to speak to our loved ones about how we feel, how their actions impact us. Because a lot of times we play the background. We're hurt, we're in pain because of something they did, but we're so scared of losing that person that we let them do it. We let them hurt us. We help them hurt us, in fact,
Mm.
because we're not communicating. This is hurting me. When you do this, this is how it makes me feel. Now, according to Dr. John Gottman, he's a leading researcher in relationship stability. Couples who engage in regular open communication about their feelings and concerns are more likely to build lasting trust. Right? Now, you have to be open and honest, but that doesn't mean be naggy, be picky, right? Like I was having a discussion with somebody, and it kind of almost started turning into an argument. And he said, "You know what? I apologize because I don't want to argue. I don't want the bad energy." Right? And in my mind I was like, "But I need to say this thing. I need to say this thing." Sometimes we do need to say it, but sometimes we don't. And we have to have that spirit of discernment to know when to speak up and when to shut up. Everything doesn't have to be expressed. Everything doesn't have to be said. Some things are meant for you to reflect on, not react on. And let me say that again. Some things are for you to reflect on, not react on. Right? And you can gradually step into things. You don't have to go and have the whole 5-hour conversation today. You can work through things, right? Because gradually you can build back or build up a foundation of trust when where you have consistent, honest dialogue. But that's not day one of your new relationship. You have to build up trust. You have to build up knowing each other, feeling safe and comfortable in that space with each other so that you can have those open and honest conversations. But that can also be something you talk about early on before you guys build a relationship. Is that what I've seen with couples who are successful and they've been married a long time, and you can probably verify this because you too have been married a long time, over a quarter of a century. Ain't that crazy? Is that having agreements on how you will resolve conflict, right? There was one couple I loved how they said, "Well, we're not going to argue. We're not going to raise our voices at one another. We're going to," and they have what they call um, free communication or something like that, where you can say whatever is on your mind, whatever is on your heart. And I can't get mad about it. I have to listen, not listen to respond. And then we can have an open discussion about it. I love that because it allows me to express my feelings without feeling like that person's going to blow up at me or they're going to be upset or whatever. But that also means you have to check how you engage with that person because sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you said it.
That part.
Really think before when you say, "Hey, Shronda, I would like to talk to you about something that happened." Don't come with your frustration, with your anger, and with your pain. Wait until you can process that and speak logically about it so that you're coming from a place of respect as well. Because you can't just throw up on people emotional abuse and think that they're going to accept it.
Hmm.
There's always a way that that you can say it. And start setting some healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries can help you build trust because one, you're aware of your do's and don'ts, will and won'ts. You've successfully communicated that to your partner, to your friends, to your family, whomever you need to build that boundary with. And you now can operate from a better place of respect and trust because I've clearly told you my non negotiables. We can work on everything else, but if it comes to these three things right here, these are three things that I can never compromise on. And you have to know what those things are for you. Now, hopefully you don't got a laundry list of 57 things and nobody can ever do anything wrong or you're out. Again, if the relationship is valuable to you, you'll work, you'll work, you'll work for it.
Absolutely.
You can't get to 27 years of marriage if you don't know how to deal with conflict.
Come on.
So, what would be your advice for helping somebody rebuild trust because they're looking for longevity? They're looking to have the kind of longevity that you and Arif have.
Put somebody else's needs before yours.
Mm,
Be in a competition of pleasing each other.
I like that. I like that. Because if I'm focusing on making him happy and he focused on making me happy, I love that.
Absolutely.
But you have to step outside of yourself first. We have to get over ego because our ego can sabotage trust, relationships, and all that.
Absolutely.
So you have to trust in yourself that you've picked a mate who wants, the best for you, just like you want for them. And people will clearly show you because if in my relationships, and we've talked about this before, if I feel like I'm the only one reaching out, I'm the only one communicating, I'm the only one trying to work on building something, then why am I here with you?
Hmm.
Because if you don't want to be here, don't. But relationships take effort, they take intention, they take consistency, they take work. Whether it's a platonic relationship, a romantic relationship, it still takes work. And if you're not willing to match my effort, then this is not the relationship for me. And you have to have that strength to walk away and trust that this wasn't the right thing for you. You have to trust up here your ability to think rationally. But sometimes you have to distance yourself from whatever it is so that you can get to the rationality of it. You know,
Mm.
sometimes you got to put a little distance. Maybe you need to take a break. You know,
Mm-hmm.
now we're going to take a brief pause for the cause, and we'll be right back. Hey, sis. Ever feel like you're on the verge of a meltdown? Are you overwhelmed from juggling your job, your family, and trying to fit in me time, but seriously dropping the ball on that last one? Guess what? You're not alone. Introducing the Burnout Recovery Kit. It's your 14-day lifeline to go from burnt out to lit up. Get ready to reclaim your joy, energy, and that I got this attitude. Grab your free ebook, a purpose-driven workbook, daily email prompts as well as SMS boosters and Q&A sessions. It's like a spa day for your soul, and guess what? It's totally free. Don't waste another minute feeling drained. Go to officialburnoutrecoverykit.com right now and kickstart your transformation. The Burnout Recovery Kit, because you deserve to be at the top of your own to-do list. Don't just cope, thrive, sis. And we're back. We need like some musical interludes in here, like a good song. Pop up like
I think you would be a perfect candidate for that since you got your own song made for this show and everything.
I mean, I do have my own song. I do have my own song. I told you one day I'm gonna play the actual song for you. It
One
wasn't
day.
made specifically for this show. It was made when I had my magazine Natural Roots, and it's great. It's a good song. It's a professionally produced musical Shrek. Okay, like I want people to know it was professionally produced. It is the bomb. I tell people all the time, look, oh, let me see if this is it. We're gonna see if this is it, Sharonda.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's the instrumental. It's still processing. But I had this song written by one of my friends wrote it, and then um, the drummer from um, Lakeside, his son, is the one who actually produced it. Okay, it's supposed to be the full song. You know, see, I'm gonna turn it up so y'all can hear. Like that melody is just smooth as shit. Like, make you want to dance.
And braids, afros, brothers and faces, all come from my natural roots.
Hey,
Neo soul, jazz and funk, what we got is what they want. So be proud of your natural roots. Brothers and sisters, gather around. You need to know what's going down. It's our soon demise if we don't get it right, y'all. Straighten ahead to Calais, filling a new group way too early. All because the rest of it got wet. Now you're calling it happy, but it's natural. Hey, so damn sexy though. Right. That is sexually the best hair that you can have. Yeah. Whoa. Good and strong. Yeah. Guaranteed to grow long. Right. And it will fight for its right to be left alone.
Just wanted to play that. Like,
I
if
dig
you ever
it.
hear that song somewhere, where's my shmoney? That's my song. And I love that little song. Like, that was I had that made for my magazine. I probably will have a Wake Up Happy Sis song made. But now they got all the little AI joints that you can have a whole song written for you. So,
Like it.
Thank you. So, don't be surprised if I come in here with a whole new song for Wake Up Happy Sis. And you'd be like, where they come from? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Now, in our last couple of minutes, because we only got about 5 minutes left, y'all, I really just want to talk through what are some strategies for loving again with wisdom and courage, right? Now, I'm going to say one and then I'm going to let you say one, okay? So, my first thing, we talked about it before. We have to start learning from our past experiences, right? Because every relationship, no matter how great it was or how painful it was, really is going to offer you some lessons that can guide you in your future relationships. We can learn something from every experience, good or bad, that we've had. And we have to look past the pain and try to look for the message in that. Now, it's not saying, I am not telling you to bring the baggage into the new relationship. That is 100% not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is use the experiences as a guide to help you navigate new connections. When you see those red flags, baby, listen to them. Listen to them. Look for the green flags in people, right? But don't let the past experiences keep happening again and again and again, because that's a lesson you haven't learned and you're going to keep repeating it until you learn the lesson. Sharonda talked about that before on one of our shows. If you don't learn the lesson now, you're going to keep on keeping on learning the lesson over and over in different people. It's going to be the same lesson, different face, until you've mastered that thing and got past it. So my first tip is learn from your past experiences.
My tip would be show yourself grace after a heartache, because sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it is your fault, but you still need to forgive yourself to be able to move on, because you are going to be the commonality with all of these different relationships. And if you don't do at least the part about fixing yourself, you're going to keep on learning that same lesson over and over again.
That's
Different
right.
people, like you said.
That's right. Now, I think for my next one is we have to start balancing openness with caution, right? Because it's natural after you've gone through some kind of a hurt that you really want to protect yourself from future pain. That is a regular response that we have. That's normal, right? But loving with wisdom means that we have to find a balance between openness and caution. We don't want to be on the extreme of either one. Being too open, too trusting, too open. You trust anything and everything that come to you and tell them all your business on day one, versus being too cautious. And now I'm closed off. I got the walls up because I'm scared to dip my foot back in, right? We have to find that balance. So that means, hey, I'm going to take the time to actually get to know you, and I'm not going to jump in like I've done in past relationships. Remember, we're learning from our experiences and we're giving ourselves grace and learning ourselves again.
Yeah.
So you got to balance it. Now, by being open, you really allow yourself to experience the beauty of connection and love. But you can't just be all open all the time. Don't go into a relationship and on the first date, you've told them every single thing. A lot of times when people ask me what kind of man I'm looking for now, like, I'm not going to tell you all the things, because now I've just given you the recipe to act and send your representative to be that man. I give the most general things, give the most general level because he has to prove and show that he is that man. It's not going to come from a guided book that I just gave him, because I'm not going to be that open. That's where I've got a little bit of caution, because now I don't give away every secret, everything. Because you want to see how people are in their natural kind of environment. How do they naturally act? Are they naturally loving? But if I've told you I need him to be loving, caring, I need him to da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm just looking for a good man that I can build and grow with, and I'll know him when I meet him, because he's going to show me through his actions, not just his words. Okay, last one, and then we're going to close out.
Give it to God.
That's always a good one. You got to
You can't trust your own judgment. Give it to God.
And ask him to send you signs. Look, me and God have had many conversations, and I've asked to be delivered from the pain. I've asked her to have a discerning spirit so that I can see the man that he has sent for me. Right? Look, God, I need you to give me a sign that it's clearly a sign. Right? He will. I agree with that. So, I want y'all to remember. Oh, well, I'm going to let you get your final word in first. Do you have a final word for the people?
Nope. Just trust God with yourself and your life, and you'll be okay.
Yes. All right. So today, we really took a deep dive into the journey of healing after heartbreak, and really talking about being vulnerable and learning how to love again with wisdom and courage. We gave you little tips, a couple little techniques, things that you can do. These are things that you can implement now. But I want you to remember that opening your heart after it's been broken is one of the bravest things that you can do. It takes incredible strength to love again and to believe that you deserve a love that honors all that you are, right? It's okay to grieve the loss of that love, but don't let the grieving go to the point where you've closed off yourself and you're not even open to the love that God is going to send to you. Because what I was told, that whatever he takes from you, he's going to give back to you twofold. He's going to double it back in your favor and your good. That don't mean you get two men. It might. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But we have to know that, right? That vulnerability is not a weakness. It is your superpower. It's what's going to help make you strong, resilient, and capable of deep, authentic connections. Now, as we move forward, I really want you to carry this with you, okay? And say it to yourself, that you are worthy of a love that sees you, values you, and cherishes you. And don't settle for anything less. Keep your heart open, but still be cautious now. Don't keep it extra open. Keep it open and trust that what is meant for you is going to find its way to you. And don't give up on love. So until next time, keep shining, keep loving, and keep showing up as the powerful, beautiful soul that you are. You've been tuned in to the Wake Up Happy Sis show on KCCR Cityscape Radio, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Wake Up Happy Sis